Hey guys, today is Sunday, November the 27th of 2022, and I wanted to do an update on uranium spot price using cycle and GAN technique. I haven't done an update in a while, so I figure I'd go ahead and do one today. So let's get into the chart. As you guys know, this is uranium spot price. I'm using data from 1980 all the way to current prices. And there are three cycles that are important here. First one is the 309. This is the one that's like the most bullish. It's one of the highest ones. This one hits a peak around 2033. It hit a trough around July of last year, and the cycle is pointing up. The next one is the 173, and this one is going to be hitting a peak somewhere around January of, you could say, 2024, December 2023. So you got a while for this one. So, but the cycles are still up. That's the good thing. And then the last one is the 46. The 46 is a dominant cycle. So it's a little more fractal. With this data that I have, these are monthly closes. So keep that in mind. It's not daily. It's monthly closes. And you see that we're about to hit a peak with the dominant cycle. Pretty much at the end of this week, we're going to hit a peak, and then the cycle goes down all the way to September of 2024. So what can we extract out of this? A couple of things. If we're going to take the 46 dominant cycle and use the highest one, which is a 309, it says that we're going to get very toppy around December, January of 2023, and the cycles go down. You take the dominant cycle and use a 173, you still get toppy around January. Add all three to create a composite, and this is what you get. So there could be a possibility that we could go sideways, then break out, take out the 173, and what we do is that we get a correction, a pullback, and then resume the trend higher. So those are the two options here. But it looks like there is the probability is high that there could be a possible correction going into next year, pulling back. That's the 309, the 173. This one's a little more bearish because it's, the 173, it's a down cycle once we hit up there. So those are the things in the dominant cycle. It's now hitting a peak. While price action just looks like it just kind of broke out and now wants to go higher. So it could possibly test the 58 high over here of March. So something just to keep, in the back of your mind, not to be worried or concerned. This is just cycle. This is probability. So uranium spot is going to do what it's going to do. But if we're going to, lean a little bit on something to guide us through this, it could get a little choppy here. We could probably stall out here. So just wanted to put that out there. But the long term, just to reassure you, is that the cycles are up. So long term, the cycles are up. Short term, there could be some turbulence. Some turbulence ahead. Okay, doing our Elliott wave count on uranium spot price, we see that we have a wave 1, 2, 3. What's interesting is that we never got to really do a wave 4 correction. So that's what I was kind of leaning on, that there was going to be a possible correction coming. Excuse me, I'm drinking some coffee here. But wave 4 projections were 4482 and 4076, and we haven't had that yet. But right now it's having a breakout. You can see that using Fibonacci has been holding the 25%, which is at 47.92. And we just had a breakout here. And what could happen probably is that it may want to test that high. Could be a bull trap, it could be a lot of things, but just showing you what the Elliott Wave is showing. If for some reason this is a wave 4, and this is what the market is giving us, then a potential wave 5 target would be 79.15. I have a target of 77, which is the center of gravity, which is a 50%. But that's nice. And also 99.88 is another projection wave 5 up there. This is a price clusters, so there could be possible resistance between 56 and also very close to 53. So 53 and around 56 and change, 55, 56. Looks like the Stokes are probably about to cross over. So it'll be interesting to see how that's going to play out. Anything else here? This is the ellipse. This is a possible target to the downside. It never got there. And this is a MOB target I have here was 60 and 61. So this is another area level that I'm watching right here. This area right here, if we ever get there, see if it's going to stall. As the important thing is that as long as it's making higher highs and higher lows, it looks like it wants to trend higher. Maybe test that this high right here of March. Okay, using our geometry charts, I went ahead and did a pitchfork at March high. And I just want to see if price action could break right above there. So that's going to be something to watch, that angle there. I also did this, and there's a level right there, which is the 25% on the adjusted 50% on the Andrews pitchfork. I would like to see if we could close above that. So that's going to be your first level resistance. I want to see if we could close above there. And if it finds support, then it pushes higher, then most likely it's going to test the that high. This is just a regular pitchfork, and you can see that we fell off of it in regards to this angle. So I like also to see if it's going to push in, if we could, breach this angle and stay above it. That's going to be very bullish if it could stay and trend above that angle. Using retracements, one of the targets you can see will be that 63.46. In regards to the GAN speed lines, you can see that it found support at the 1/4, this range and this range here, all those swing pivots. And if it's going to push higher, 77.36, which is the half point center of gravity. So it's got a long way to go, but we're patient here. I think that's it for the geometry chart. What the last chart we'll do is the master chart and see what the master chart is telling us there. Okay, so this is the last chart. There's a couple of things I'm noticing here. If we get to go above that high here, obviously we're going to test. We did already test it. It's just that these are closes, but we had a big spike that was very close, so I believe kissed it and then just retreated back. Since this is a close, it's not going to reflect the price action going extremely high because I don't have highs and lows. I just have close. So for now, this is the level you want to watch, that 58.26. You can see that the RSI has just been making seemingly higher highs and higher lows. And so far now it's holding up. It's been chopping around here. So let's take that off, and you can see that this is the 20 SMA on the monthly, and so far it hasn't, breached that. So that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and take this RSI so we can have a little more space. And a couple of things I wanted to show you. So in regards to the spectrum analyzer here, I did a couple of shorter term cycles here and extracted them, and this is what it's showing. kind of confirming like what the other cycles I've been showing you. Kind of interesting. I want to see how this is going to play out because this is very pivotal, if you were to ask me. So that's the composite of all these cycles, and they're kind of getting very toppy here, and then they push lower, and then some go up. But this is pretty much a composite of that, of those two, of the shorter term, and then this is a longer term. Let's open this up a little bit, or maybe I have it backwards. Maybe this is shorter term. It looks shorter, but nonetheless, what you see here is that these cycles are pointing down, and the composite is just showing an average composite of all three, and they're pointing down. The first clip that I showed you in the beginning of the video, you made it this far. This is kind of confirming this, and this is using a different algorithm. So it's kind of interesting that they're both kind of, leaning on the same side, which I really don't like, but I have to show you what the data is saying. I'm not going to be biased. I'm just going to show you what it is, bearish or bullish. So that's number one. This is an easy cycle that I got, and this is a long term, which kind of confirms what I first showed you. This is a cycle from the top to this low. It is easy. It's just showing you that now the cycle is up from high to low. So that's a bullish. This is a turbo cycle with its own algorithm, and it says that it's already topped out here somewhere around April, and this one goes down. So this one kind of confirms all these cycles I showed you earlier and the ones I just showed you now. Yeah, so that's that. Some things to look positive. The yearly bar so far is positive. We have been pushing higher. We never got to take out 45.68. So that's good. That's the open of the year. And on the quarterly, you can see there was a little negative, but so far we had we're breaking out, and be interesting to see. We could test out that 53, which is coming up right there. So that's good on the quarterly. And let's see over here. Open this up a little bit. There's these Gann squares that I'm using. You can see that we found support. Let me go a little more fractal, bigger. So we've been holding this level here using the Gann square, and big target will be obviously the high 57.80. If we could get up there. The only thing concerns me is we got this angle. Let's see how we approach it. If it's resistance and it pulls back, there's something to it. The next one would be more fractal from the high to this recent low, and you can see that there's open space here, so it has the potential to go high, even test that 55.52. And this is more fractal. This is this range right here from this low to this high. And first level will be this 53.24. Let me see something here. Yeah, so with the bigger one, 53.24 around December. And that angle, it'd be interesting to see if we could close above 53.24 on that. I think that's it. I don't want to make this video too long, but I wanted to do a quick update for at least for November, because I haven't done one. Been busy. So what are my thoughts with all this that I just showed you? Just be cautious. Just be cautious. Price action is looking good. It's pushing higher. It's trending higher. The trend hasn't changed. The only thing is that cycles are kind of getting toppy around here, especially, coming now in December and January. And then you just got to see what price action does. If you're long term, you shouldn't, be concerned, because long term, I believe that spot price is going to go higher. And this going higher is a good sign, because this could pull up the uranium stocks. But, the market's in a rut, so once it could, if it decouples and wants to go on its own, direction and follow uranium spot, then maybe that's definitely a positive catalyst. But if the markets, are controlling it and, selling off or just kind of going sideways in the volatility while, uranium spot is going up, it's just going to be a matter of time once the uranium, stocks are going to catch up to uranium. But this is a good sign. This is positive. What concerns is these short-term cycles that are getting toppy. But as long as, uranium keeps pushing higher, it doesn't matter. Maybe the cycles won't play out because sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Another thing in regards to Elliott Wave, this is a confirmed 3. We really haven't gotten a 4. So that remains to be seen. So just, you're short term, you don't want to get this big, downside. Just trail your stops, I mean, what else can you do? The market has sold off. How low is it going to go? I don't know. But those are what the cycles are saying. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but that's what the data is showing, and you just got to see how it's going to play out. I'm looking forward to see how December and January, where we'll be at from here. So I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on the uranium spot price using cycles and double EGAN techniques.